Witchcraft family, and welcome back to Magick with Soul Bride. I'm here today with a video about chamomile and its wonderful magical properties. It's one of my favorite herbs. I use it all the time, and I've got some information for you. So stick around and I'll tell you all about it. Now, the magic and beauty of chamomile. This herb right here is one of my fix-alls, and what I mean by that is when I'm treating somebody for almost anything, I put chamomile in the remedy. I use it as itself. I use infusions, I use tinctures, I use salves, teas. I do all kinds of stuff with this herb. It's very beautiful. It's the flowers is the part that you mostly use, and that's what they look like when they're dried and harvested. This is what it looks like outside of the jar. When you're making teas and things of that nature, you'll take it like this and you grind it down. What I do is I put it in my mortar and pestle and I shake it, I grind it down. Obviously as a flower it's not going to grind down, but what it does is it separates the yellow of the flower from the rest of the plant material. And so you do that, and that will give you a product that looks like this. And that's just the yellow off the chamomile. And now, in this part I mostly use for metaphysical properties of chamomile. Like I use it to make incense, but if I am making a tea, I do add a little bit of this if I need it to be very strong. So say someone's suffering from insomnia and they're having a hard time going to sleep. You want to give them a good dose of chamomile because it's such a safe drug and it's a great way to treat insomnia. But if you break it down into this fine powder here, you can see it's like baby powder or talcum powder. The way I did it was I took it in this form, the yellow, and I put it into a herb/coffee grinder. I don't use coffee in it, just my herbs. And that's how I get it down to a fine powder like that. So I make tinctures with it, infusions, and then with the powdered form I make incense cones. Now let's get to the basics, the information about chamomile. Chamomile comes in 3 different types. There's German chamomile, Roman chamomile, and wild chamomile. The only difference between Roman chamomile and German chamomile is that Roman chamomile is used mostly in Britain, and German chamomile is used here in America. So a little bit of history and wives' tales for you about this beautiful, beautiful herb. In the Middle Ages, it was used as a strewing herb, and they would use herbs like chamomile and lavender, and like in the home, they would rush the floors with it. They would just leave it laying in the floors, and as you walked around, you would step on it, and it would release an aroma. And that was how they, covered up odors and things back in the day, because obviously they didn't have Febreze. Roman chamomile got its name not from ancient Rome, but in the 19th century by a plant collector that came across it at the Roman Colosseum. The ancient Egyptians used chamomile to treat fevers, and they dedicated it to Ra, the sun god. The medical properties of chamomile are: it is an antiseptic, an anti-inflammatory, an antispasmodic, and a digestive. It is used to treat many illnesses, including asthma, eczema, tetanus, heartburn, heavy or painful menstruation, anxiety, and insomnia. And those are just a few. This is a great herb for people with low pain tolerance, people with painful menstruation every month, It's good for people that have nervous afflictions and some mental illnesses. It is great to treat many childhood illnesses. For treating children and low pain tolerance, you can take the whole plant. Usually you just use the flowers, but you can take the whole plant and juice it down, and that's a really good way to treat the two, children and low pain tolerance. Chamomile comes in many forms, such as teas, tinctures, infusions, compresses, salves, capsules. So am I missing anything? Oh, essential oils and bath and body care products. For people that are allergic to pollens in the aster family, such as ragweed, may be allergic to chamomile, so be careful if you have those allergies. Also, it can interact with anticoagulants, in other words, blood thinners like aspirin. So as I've already mentioned, Egyptians used it to treat fever. But one thing I found recently interesting is that now, in the days we're living in Germany, they use it after surgery. So like, say you had stomach surgery, they would, after the surgery, stitch you up, lay chamomile directly on top of that, and then dress the wound on top of the chamomile and leave it there. For usually about 24 to 48 hours, they do that. And that is a very good way to help accelerate the healing process. That's why they do it. Because it does accelerate your body's natural healing process. Another thing you can use chamomile for, believe it or not, is an insect repellent. You make an infusion, and an infusion is just where you take the chamomile and you boil it in water and strain the chamomile out. What you have left is an infusion, which doesn't keep forever. Keep in mind, you can only keep the same infusion for maybe up to 7 days, and then it's not good anymore. But to use it as an insect repellent, you just put it on your arms and your feet, and it actually works pretty well. For a good medical example of using chamomile from my personal account is I treat my parents a lot. They both have quite a few afflictions. My dad, he has been working in construction since he was 16 years old, and he is in his 50s now, and his body is just, beaten, banged up, and he just has a lot of pain and stiffness and all that. And my mom, she has mental illnesses, and she suffers really badly from insomnia, and she had back surgery that didn't take, and so she's also in pain a lot. So I make them herbal teas pretty often at night to help them sleep and, get feeling better. And I use chamomile in every tea that I make them. It helps my mom to actually sleep. It helps my dad to sleep and be able to, he has less stiffness. Because of its antispasmodic properties, he's able to actually stay still and sleep, because that's one of his main problems, is he can't quit moving during the night. So those are some specific examples that I can give you of treating an illness with chamomile. So there's some specific examples and a little bit of information about myself and my family. Now let's get into the witchcraft part of things, the metaphysical properties. Its associated planet is the sun. Its astrological is Leo. It works with the 5th chakra, the throat chakra. Its element is water, and chamomile is great to use in a ritual bath before you go to do any spell casting or magical workings for the following properties. Using spells for money, luck, peace, love, tranquility, and purification. Those are its great qualities. You can sprinkle some on your person and it will remove any spells that have been cast on you. They say that you can wash your hands in a chamomile infusion and it will actually give you luck when gambling. So if you're big and running off to the casino, you should try that. Just boil some water, put some chamomile in there, strain it out, wash your hands with it, and so they say you will have very good luck in that casino. So I wish you luck with that. Also, because chamomile is good for just good luck in general anyway. You can also use it in a bath to soothe the loss of a loved one or any loss, pain, and anger. A ritual bath with this will soothe your soul. And that's one thing I love about chamomile, is it literally soothes the mind, body, and soul. One cool thing you can do is you can put a chamomile flower, or a few, what have you, into your wallet or your purse or wherever you keep your money, and it is said to bring you prosperity and wealth. I think I might try that. I've never tried that before, so I'm going to try that one day, and I'll make another video and let you guys know if it worked. I will also let you know if I have not been struck by lightning or my home has not burned down, because one of the old tales about it is that if you sprinkle it through your house, that it will keep you from being struck by lightning or having a devastating fire. So I'm going to do that, and maybe in, I don't know, a month, when I make another video, I will let you guys know if I have either been struck by lightning or had my house burned down. So we'll see, I guess, huh? Chamomile's use in meditation is unlimited. I mean, it's the herb for that. It's just as good as lavender, if not more, because of the relaxed state it puts you in. You can also use chamomile if you use a good dose of it, and you're big into lucid dreaming. It's really good for that. I've actually done that myself, because I do like in lucid dreaming, I feel like I learn a lot about myself, and I will delve into that pretty far. It works great for that. I use chamomile along with lavender to do that, and that I don't have to tell you in the next video. I can tell you that right now that works. And basically, it's good for prosperity, it's good for luck. If you sprinkle it on your thresholds, on your windows, and your doors, no evil energy, or not evil necessarily, but no bad energies can come into your home or into your life. So those are some facts about chamomile. I know a whole lot about it, so if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I will get to you. This is one of my favorite subjects, but I don't want to make this video too long because I don't want to lose your interest. So there's that, and you go and get you some chamomile and have fun, you little witches. Alright, thanks guys. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.